Internet. I'm Matt Finish.
And I'm Monster Punter.
And this is Parallax Scrolling, our podcast where we try to give you our perspective on video game news in the industry. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Working a lot, but doing well.
Good. So not a lot of time for gaming this week.
Not so much, but I did get a little bit in. Just a little bit of Pac-Man, actually.
A little Pac-Man.
Pac-Man and Elden Ring.
Nice. I actually have some games I got to play this week that I want to talk about. First off, I ended up picking up a physical copy of, I'm not even sure how to pronounce the name. It's like Greek or Griak, but it's Greek Memories of Azur, and it is a 2D platformer where you play as three siblings. It's kind of puzzly, but much more like action oriented. It's about them trying to survive the world and gather up resources to leave a world that's falling apart. And each of the siblings...
So they're trying to be Elon Musk?
No. Nice try. No. Because they probably would buy Twitter. Low blow. Anyway, you get sued by Elon now. Anyhow, no, the three siblings each play differently. Like, Greek is a little kid. He's smaller than everyone else, so he can crawl in like little holes that nobody else can reach, and he can do things. He can do things that nobody else can do. His sister is like a mage, so she has the magic and whatnot. And then their eldest brother is like a big old buff warrior man with an armor and a shield and all this. And the game is beautiful. Like, the animations are really well done. The graphics for the game are well done. The cinematics are well done. The music's well done. The writing is strong. It's just short. I beat the game in a little over 6 hours.
But how much did you pay for it?
$20. That's only for 20. I kind of want a little bit longer.
Yeah, is it one of those replay? Is it like a brawler where, okay, no, I buy a brawler for $25, but you're going to play... Those things are meant to be played through several times? You're saying this one's not?
Not really. I mean, I think I only have like a couple achievements left, and one of them is like, cook all the different 11 items that you can make, because there's a cooking system. Not really necessary. And that's not a reason to go back and play. I like the game. I'm letting my brother play it now. I gave him the physical copy. I was like, here, you play for a little bit. But, you know, and I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying it's short, and I really wish there was more. And the way the game ends, without being spoilery, because it only came out like last year, barely, basically lines itself up for more sequels. I kind of wish one of those sequels would have just been an extension of the game. So.
Well, was it development house, and it's an indie project, is it not?
Team 17.
Yes, that's considered an indie developer.
I don't know if I consider Team 17.
They're well known, but indie kind of includes smaller houses like that.
True, I guess. I just don't know if I.
They don't have a legion of people working for them, like a 300 or so, making the next, a Halo or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
They're Team 17. Maybe they only have 17 employees. I don't know. But
people who make Worms.
I know they make Worms.
Okay, well,
which is a fantastic game, by the way. If you've not played Worms, you are missing out.
Any of the 15 different versions. Anyways,
don't do the Battle Royale one. The Battle Royale one is okay, I guess, but the traditional Worms, great stuff.
Well, anyways, so I played that one. I like I said, I still like it, still recommend it. Just short, in my opinion. I also picked up, because PlayStation this week's got their big summer sale. A lot of games came out for cheap. I ended up getting 2 games for around $2 a piece. Haven't finished either of them yet. One is called Mousetopia. It's like a Metroidvania, but that's what it calls itself. Not really seeing a whole lot of backtracking that's necessary. But it's more of like a medieval fantasy where, like, oh, the mice people are being kidnapped, and now it's a great beginner Metroid. I think I'll leave it at that. I don't think there's a lot of things that could be polished, in my opinion, but I paid $2. I'm not gonna complain about it. The other game I got for $2 was Rise Eterna. It's a tactics game. Yeah, and I'm actually blown away by this game already. Like, the graphics are great, the combat is cool.
What's the closest thing to it?
Oh gosh, maybe Fire Emblem.
So it's a medieval.
Oh, very
setting.
Very medieval, yeah. But I was talking like a combat system. I think it's closer. I think Fire Emblem's a good. I would say close to it.
Okay.
So, and then the other thing is, I loaded up. Because I've had it forever. I haven't touched it. It was Tearaway for the PlayStation. So I played a little bit of that. That's fun. It's cute. You got another media molecule game, so of course it's going to be kind of cute. But that's really that. Otherwise, it's been a busy week. Life is always busy, so. But not too busy that we can't talk about some news. See that segue I did there? Trying to make it.
I saw.
Okay, just trying to make sure. So, what do you want to talk about first? Because we got a bunch of stories today.
Let's start with Discord.
Discord, okay. Discord Voice is finally coming to Xbox. What do you think about this concept? I'll give my opinion first, since I normally ask you. I think it's great. It's what if the program can run right and people can connect to each other. It doesn't matter what game system you're on. You can talk with your friends. I think it's an easier way to communicate with your friends and play games online and still hang out without having to jump through a whole lot of hoops and hurdles.
We're ever so slowly going toward a collective ecosystem where it doesn't matter what you game on. It just matters that you can play with somebody else. Traditional console PC market segmentation is going away, and I think overall that could only be a good thing, because then people can play the way they want to. If you prefer to play on PC, play on your PC. If you prefer to play on your PlayStation, play on your PlayStation. Xbox. However, it doesn't matter where you're playing. The fact that you could just get together with your friends and game is something that is great, and a great development over the past 4 or 5 years. Spearheaded by Microsoft, of all companies. But as far as Discord is concerned, I think it is only a good thing, because we've tried, I have tried, and my brothers have tried to, with me, use the Xbox app on PC to talk with me, and it is not easy, to say the least. That's being very kind to it. So the idea that most PC players are using Discord anyway, that you can have integration with that and easily talk with PC players over that versus the Xbox app is only a good thing. And Microsoft beat Sony to the punch with this. This was supposed to be something that Sony was doing. They announced it, I think, last year. And so it's strange that we're seeing it on Xbox first, but I would imagine it's going to come to PlayStation. And then, with the exception of the Switch, which, let's just face it, the Switch, Nintendo doesn't do very well with their online stuff. So, I think it's a great thing. And the easier way, making it easier for people to get together and play is only good.
I like it. I don't think that it's going to defeat system elitism. I still think there's people who are going to believe in the PC master race, and there's still people who are going to be like, my PlayStation's better than your Xbox. There's still going to be those people. This isn't for them. This is for those of us who end up having multiple systems, or can only afford one system versus another, but we want to play with our friends, and we want to be able to have a solid, stable voice communication program. I know there was a point where I think you and I and another friend of ours were trying to play. I think Monster Hunter Rise. We were trying to play Monster Hunter Rise, and I could not come out to visit with you guys, and so we were trying to do Discord over the phone, and that just sucked. I had a terrible time with that. Not that it was Discord's fault, but it was just too much to handle at one time. I guess it'd be nice if everything was just in the one system, like Discord's going to be with Xbox. I could just play on Xbox and talk to my friends who are on PlayStation or talk to my friends who are on PC, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop the game. And I think this is also a benefit for those people who do play the cross-platform games, like we're talking before about
esports.
Well, I was gonna say, but we were also talking before about like games like Tiny Tina's Wonderland, like that's crossplay. Hey, I can now finally play crossplay games and actually have fun with the same people and still talk on this same system. You don't. It kind of destroys the. All right, let's have a meeting to figure out what system we're going to play this game on. What's the next system we're all going to get? So it destroys that concept, and I think that's a great thing.
It should be pointed out that right now, in order to be able to use that on Xbox, you have to be part of their Xbox Insider program, and getting it working on your Xbox afterwards is a little bit problematic right now. So just know that going in, and if you're comfortable with having beta software on your Xbox, then you give it a try.
Right. But the big thing is, change is coming. Be prepared and be excited.
On a side note,
yeah,
you brought up console or just system elitism, whether it's console or PC Master Race or whatever the case may be. I think what's driving a lot of that is younger people to a certain degree. And here's my theory on that. Me, now, I can usually get every system. I have the disposable income to do that. I know not everybody does, but you don't see people talk about that as much when you're older. But when you're a kid and mom and dad buy you only one thing, and they are not going to buy you anything else, you will defend your one thing as hard as you can out there on the playground, because you know you're not going to be able to get the other thing the other person has.
Right.
So you're always going to see that, people being disappointed that their game is on another system because they want to make it's about validating I made the right choice, or my parents made the right choice. Like, as a Sega Genesis kid, did I want to play Chrono Trigger? Did I want to play Final Fantasy 2 and 3? Did I want to have Street Fighter when it first came out? Yes. Yes, but you wouldn't hear me say that on the playground.
Yeah, well, it sucks to be you. Ha!
Whatever. I had Phantasy Star. I had Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
So...
No, and that's the truth, is that... but I think to define it further is... Monster's not saying we're blaming the current younger generations for the system elitism. He's talking about the age range. It's just because when we were kids, it was Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very much us talking from experience. Kids will fight for their system that they fought hard to get or could not have. Or they were given by their parents and they were stuck with.
No one wanted to be the kid with a Game.com instead of a Game Boy.
Ooh, low.
Just saying.
Yeah. I had a Game Gear.
I had neither. But,
yeah.
I was okay with that.
I mean, I had a Game Gear, but I was also one of those kids who wanted a Game Boy when it came out, because I wanted the Metroid game, I wanted the Zelda game, I wanted the Mario game, and I couldn't get them. But then eventually I got the Game Gear, and I got the Shining Force game, I got the Golden Axe game, I got a whole bunch of games that were great. I got the Sonic game.
I never wanted to, nor got a Game Boy until the Game Boy Color, and I'll tell you the one reason why. I couldn't see the screen when she started moving. And I did not want to deal with that. To hell with that old screen. That thing can die in a fire.
Yeah, we've come a long way. So, okay, well, let's since we're doing like little fluff pieces, I would think this is not as big a heavy topic as what we have later. I'm gonna bring up this other one. So Annapurna Interactive, for those who may not realize it, because I didn't realize it at first, they're the people who brought out Stray this week. The game where you play as a cat and run through cyber utopia land, knocking stuff over, and I don't know whatever else is going on in it.
It's a platformer at heart,
is
from
it?
what I can tell. Everything I've watched, yes.
I kind of wonder.
It's on PlayStation Plus Essentials or Premium, one of those two. If you have that, download it. I've heard nothing but great things about it so far.
Oh yeah, my brother's currently going through it, and I'm waiting for him to finish up and let me play. But the one thing I want to talk about was, and this just happened recently, at the time of recording. Annapurna has partnered with both the NE Humane Society and Cats Protection for a fundraising and awareness campaign helping to put real cats into real homes. I think that's a cool idea. You know, it's your game is giving awareness to a problem, and now you're helping to promote a solution to that problem. I like that. I just thought it was a really nice. Is it a fluff piece? Yes, but it's also one of those things of we need to be reminded of good stuff every once in a while, and I like this. I thought it was a good story to talk about.
The only bad thing I have to say about that is no more cats for me. I have two. Two is enough. I don't need any more. So I'm glad they're putting them in people's homes, but they can keep them out of mine.
He says as they start coming at him, slowly but surely, stalking him in the darkness. But no, I think it's a great thing. Anybody who can help cats, dogs, gerbils, whatever, help animals who need homes to find homes and keep the wildlife protected, I think is a good thing. So, kudos to you, Annapurna. Kudos to you. All right, now for the ugly, heavy stuff. Ready? Well, there's only one ugly, heavy story. The other one's actually, exciting, cool, in my opinion.
I have one other one to talk about here. It's from Kotaku. Neopets. 69 million accounts have been compromised, and the person who stole this information is trying to sell them for $92,000 in Bitcoin. So I didn't realize that this game had been around for this long, but it's been around since 1999. And the even more surprising thing about it is, for a game where you go on and dress up your pets and do things with them, there's 4 million people still visiting the site. Unbelievable. I don't know who they're getting to get on there, but good on them to have something going for 20 plus years. But 69 million accounts have been hacked. So they got their identifying information, they got their financial information, and they're being sold on the dark web for $4 Bitcoins, which as of this point is $92,000 in cash. All I can say about that is, the more places you put your information out there, the more likely it is that something like this can happen to you. And then they're doing the right thing. They're telling people to change their passwords. They're telling people to cancel their credit cards, to get new ones, doing all that stuff. But just know that the more places you put your information out there, it's eventually going to happen to you. That's the world we live in nowadays, with everything being digital. And every company you give your information to, they have a database that they keep track of. I'm sure that they buy encryption protection for it, and I'm sure they go through proper steps. But hackers are going to find ways. So Take care of yourselves, people. Make sure you don't buy anything online with a debit card, because those are basically the same as cash transactions. If you're going to buy something, buy it with a credit card or PayPal or something along those lines where you can dispute a charge and get money back.
Real quick, does the article mention if they have caught this hacker, or is this person still at large?
Not at this point.
Not at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't want to antagonize, but you know what? This is disgusting behavior, and I'm going to call it disgusting behavior. You know, you hacked 69 million accounts. Shame on you.
Some people just don't care, and it's a shame.
Yeah, and to go further into that, just even if the people aren't going back into the game, the ones that are being affected, why? You're ruining somebody else's good time to try and get Bitcoin. Like, dude, reality check here, okay? We have not solidified Bitcoin as a good money-making scheme yet. And at the same time, it's the same reason why I don't understand trolls and hackers in video games in general. Why are you trying to ruin someone else's good time? Everybody should just want to try and play a game, have fun. Why you got to ruin it? You know, what's the purpose?
Anything that's worth value in the history of man, and there's going to be people out there who want to take advantage of it for their own purposes and try to profit off of it.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of the situation.
And to further back up what you were saying, I actually have I think at least 50 different passwords, because I'm on the internet a lot. I've got a YouTube channel, I've got this channel, I've got another channel, I've got I've got shopping sites, I've got all these places where I have to do my business and just my general life online. They all have different passwords. They all have different ways for me to get in. And so much to the point where I have to keep a journal. And I'll never tell you where. But
You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Well, my brain is too full with everything else. I can't remember.
Here's something that can help you remember it, believe it or not. They're suggesting you use past phrases now. For instance, I walked to the grocery store today. But you replace grocery, the words you could do, put leet speak in there, things like that to strengthen your past phrase. And past phrases are easier to remember than a past word.
Well, there was actually a program being talked about years ago. I cannot even remember if they've advanced it any further, where this gentleman was working on a program it was a numerical system, and you would put your pattern in, but the pattern would remember the numbers, and then it would jumble everything up, and the only way people could get in is if they actually copied your pattern exactly, but it would always jumble the numbers so that people would think that it is a number code and not a pass, and so you would never be able to tell the difference between that and another program that requires a number code. And so you can kind of flip-flop and just throw people off their game. And I kind of like that idea. I mean, because we're short of retinal scans and thumbprints and tongue prints, sure, or whatever whatever they're going to use to scan in the future. We're still a ways away from that. So
we have some of that technology, but to have it at an affordable price and something that's easy to put in your home and use or on the go, we're a ways away from that. Anyway, I hope those 69 million accounts. I hope those people are able to, get through this just fine. One other thing about that I just thought about. Think about this: the company who owns the Neopets may end up having to buy identity theft protection for all their players, which is a tremendous expense.
Much more than the 92,000?
Much more than 92,000.
Much more than 92,000.
Well, considering they may have to, 69 million times 10 times 12, that obviously wouldn't be that high, but we're talking potentially billions of dollars here.
Yep.
In just identity theft protection, and for a year on some of these people, so that's also the sort of risk that companies run. So believe me when I say that companies take the necessary precaution, because paying for other people's identity theft protection is not something they want to do.
I might cut this part out, but I want to say this. And I sincerely hope that the hacker's toilet does not work anymore. I just want to throw that out there. Just, dude, not cool. All right. So let's move on to another rough story. Because I know you don't have... you're not on Twitter. You're not...
No, I will be very soon.
Right, but right now you're not. So you have not been watching what's been happening this week. An Ubisoft prop artist by the name of Joe Hobbs has gone on Twitter and has basically announced to the world that game launches are a horrible experience because of entitled gamers. And he was kind of giving his perspective, kind of giving his side, and it ended up becoming an actual news article you can find on thegamer.com. And what it basically comes down to is Joe talks about how when he puts a game out, or he's part of a game that's going to get launched, he immediately goes into media blackout. He stops looking at social media, he stops looking at news articles, whatever that revolve around the game that he just put out, because he's received death threats, because he has very just a rough reception. People give the game developers a really hard time at game launch. And he wasn't the only one who started speaking up about this. He's the one who started, but eventually other developers and people in the industry kept coming forward. One person even mentioned that they had somebody come to their house. Like, folks, this is unacceptable behavior. We know you know that, but we just have to state that again. This is unacceptable behavior. These people are working in an industry that a lot of us wish we could be in. Like, it's like gamer paradise, supposedly. Like we hear the ugly stories about what happens with other companies and whatnot that we're not going to talk about today, but these guys and gals and everyone, they put so much time and effort and love and passion into their projects, and then people come out and threaten their lives because the game's not the way they want it. Wake up. Get that reality check cashed in, folks. This is, it's a video game. It's meant to make people happy. It's sad. This is just a sad story for me to talk about.
Again, I said this in one of the other podcasts already, but anonymity on the internet, people do things that they would never do in real life. If you are genuinely that upset about your game, that something happened, that you feel the need that you need to go after a developer for any reason, I seek help. I implore you, seek help, because games are not. It's not worth doing that. These are mediums of enjoyment. If you're not enjoying the game, then find something else to play that is. There's many positive things you can do in your life. Spending your time making other people's lives worse is just self-destructive and wastes everybody's time.
And here's the other thing to keep in mind too is, I understand that there are people who are very passionate about their games and they're passionate about their systems. Something we've been talking about today a lot. These people have the same levels of passion that I've seen people carry into real life sporting events, real life, real life anything. If someone's passionate enough about something, they get to this point. The difference is, like, if you're getting upset at the football player because he's not playing the game the way you think he should be, one, he doesn't care. Two, he's getting paid lots of money, so he doesn't care. Three, he's got people backing him, a PR team, a security detail, whatever he needs, so he can continue to do his job. These game developers do not have these things. They do not have the security detail. They do not have the PR team. They do not have the millions of dollars that they should be getting for doing what they do. They do not have the protection they need from death threats and people coming to their homes. They are regular people. I hate using that term, but they are regular people like you, like me. They do not deserve to be treated like this. Have some respect for the people who make the games you play. And I'm going to stop there because otherwise I will ramble like I did last week and the editor will kill me again because of how much he had to cut out. So we'll leave it at that. Sorry.
Be kind to people.
Including your editor. Yeah. We have one last story that I'm actually really excited about. I like the concept, and I brought it up to Monster, and I kind of want to discuss it some more. Sony, of all people, Sony is working on a program, an AI, to help you be a better gamer. We don't know the full details on this just yet. There's still speculation. It's still in the works. But the concept is along the lines of, I'm going to say this, but I don't want it to sound insulting. But I also heard, when I first heard the news story, I heard it from Jesse Cox on his news channel, or his news video. And he said something, and it clicked in my head. It's like the Windows paperclip guy. Like, could you imagine playing Elden Ring and all of a sudden, because you died for the 50th time to this boss, this little paperclip comes out and says, "Hey, I see you're sucking at Elden Ring. Would you like some help?" Yeah. So what the concept is the AI, if you activate it, I think you have to activate it, but it studies your gameplay. So it watches you play, and then it starts to suggest ways to improve. But yeah, so the AI studies your gameplay and gives you tips on how to be a better that game player. I like that idea. I think that removes the need for a difficulty slider, like people have been arguing for years. Because now developers can just put the game out however they want. And there's this AI to be like, okay, well, I see you're having trouble with this. Why don't you try playing like this? What do you think?
First of all, a patent is not a product. It's just a patent. So what Sony does with this, if anything, remains to be seen. There's plenty of patents that never come to fruition. Having said that, I think accessibility in anything, really, making it more accessible so that people can enjoy it, to me is a good thing. Mm-hmm. I hate the get good mentality.
I hate the good.
I don't think it does anybody any good. If I'm a developer, I want to sell copies of my game. The best way for me to sell copies of my game is to make it so that anybody can play. What Sony should do before doing this is to come out with something like Microsoft's adaptive controller. That adaptive controller made it so people who have disabilities are able to play. I think it's fantastic because people are able to play that normally wouldn't be able to play. So anything that makes it easier for people to be able to enjoy and experience the game, great. I think if it's an AI helping you to do better in a game, I'm okay with that. However, I think that there's also other approaches that can be taken right now, in the here and now, that can be done. And, I think just in easy mode in anything, I played Tales of Arise, and one of the options that is in that game is a story mode. Basically, an easy game where you get to experience the story and you can play through it. I didn't play it that way, but I appreciate that it's there, because everybody's approach and what they want out of a game is different. And if you, as a developer, I would think any way I can sell more copies, great. It's only people who are short-sighted, elitist, or something along those lines that have the get good mentality, and I think it doesn't have any place in life other than possibly like maybe esports or just sports in general. Like, if you want to get better and beat somebody, yeah, you kind of have to just get good. But we're talking about entertainment. Obviously it's entertaining for them to play that game, but that's the nature of that game. But from a video game perspective, we're all trying to play it to have fun. Unless it's a competitive experience, the get good mentality can just, you can get gone.
Well, I think it's funny to say it. I think it's interesting to say it like this. If you're not on a professional esports team, you are, as they say online, you are a filthy casual. You are a casual gamer. You are playing the game to play the game. You are not professional. Stop trying to act like.
But what I'm just talking about is competitive games in general. Right. I don't think something like what Sony's proposing here works. But in a game that's a solo experience, something like, Tales of Arise, Elden Ring, Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, Witcher 3, all that stuff, I think it's fine. Well, having an easy mode is fine.
That's my point, though. My point is not to take away from the esports guys. Yeah, the esports guys got to work. They got to work hard. And they got to get good. You sitting at home with your snacks and your podcast in the background. Thank you for listening. You're not getting paid to play the game. You paid to play the game. You're like the rest of us. Calm down. That's point one. Point two. In one of the games I actually mentioned earlier, Greek, there's actually an accessibility option. When you have all the siblings together and you're actually able to swap between them, kind of like three Vikings or Lost Vikings. When you're fighting monsters, the two siblings you're not controlling can get hurt. They can take damage. There's an accessibility option to turn on invincibility for them. There's also the elder brother has a grapple hook mechanic that you have to do like a whole bunch of crazy button inputs in order to do it. Well, they have an option in there to be like, it's a one button press. Just go ahead and turn this on, and he'll just fire the grappling hook in the direction you're pointing. Adding accessibility options to games is fantastic, and I love that. And I don't think that should ever be taken away. I think it should be added to a lot more games. That said, to focus on the AI here, something that can help you improve, something that can teach you can learn from, I'm all for. Because if it makes you better for your own personal enjoyment, rock on. Plus, this brings us one step closer to Skynet. So, bonus.
Oh, we all want to do that, right?
Right. I mean, we all want to save John Connor, right? Or wait, do we save John Connor or do we kill John Connor? I forgot.
I don't care about John Connor. I want to see a Terminator.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, which one do we have to do in order to get that to happen? Do we save or kill? Kill?
No, he's alive in the future in Terminator. So they send the T-1000
back to kill him.
Yeah.
Right. So
or T-100. I don't even know.
Right, but if we kill him, if we kill John Connor, then we get the Terminators faster. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the theory?
I guess I can follow your logic.
Okay. So John Connor, start running. You non-existent humanoid. Stupid. Do we have anything else? I can't think of anything else that I'm really itching to talk about.
Nope, not that I can think of.
Okay, well, this one's going to be a little bit longer podcast, which will be great because last week's was really short. Again, sorry, Mr. Editor, I didn't mean to ramble so much. Please don't hit me again. All right. Beyond that, I think we're good to wrap up. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, thank you all very much for listening. Especially for those of you on YouTube, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for watching the background. Scroll by. It's very, very appreciative of you. If you are enjoying our podcast, wherever you're hearing it, please support us any way you can. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Rate 5 stars. I think is on iTunes. I think we're looking into iTunes.
Yeah.
So whatever's necessary to get this podcast bumping. We do appreciate your support. Those of you who have been commenting, I didn't see any comments for last week, so I don't have anything to bring up this time. But we do look at your comments, and we do appreciate you commenting. Thank you for being part of our discussions. Thank you for being a part of this experience. This is an awesome time. I know I'm having. I'm hoping Monster does too.
I only continue doing this because I hate it.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising. So, yeah. So for now, until Monster gets fully set up on the internet some more, you'll be able to find me at Matt Finish on YouTube. I'm still working on a name change. I got ideas. We'll see what happens. But for now, you can find me at Matt Finish. Help me with the algorithm. Help me get promoted in some way. It'd be awesome. Just so I can keep doing this, because this is the life for me. To entertain in some way is what I want to do. So, appreciate you. You guys have yourselves a fantastic day. Stay awesome.
And take care.
Later.